Hey, Media Maker here with some updates, and my transplanted 2-liter experiments are still going. This one here had a case of brown roots, and I think that was partially because of water and the mixture of the water. He had pure distilled water for a long time. He was spoiled, and I switched it over to a mixture of a little bit of chlorinated water bubbled out supposedly, and the roots started not having any fun at all. So what I did was, we had bought a shower head chlorine remover, and it's one of those where the shower head hangs up there and it's got the little hose, and I took a clean bucket and I filled it up with that water, pH'd it, and put nutrients in it, put it back in, and as you can tell, I had to put neti pots under here because it grew that much. So, but the roots are starting to get some white roots, more white roots. The brown is starting to clear up a little bit. Put a little bit of enzymes in there to tear out some of the dying roots, pieces that fall off, and it seems to be recovering okay, except for all three plants seem to have the same problem. I'm getting some bluing or purpling on some of the leaves, and I get a little bit of leaf curl, and they're not standing out as straight as you would hope. So, as you can tell, they're very dark green, and hopefully you can make this out. I can't get too close with this camera because it won't do really good close-up, so I'm trying to find a camera that will. But see that leaf there curled up, and there's purple on the bottom. So everything I could find, and confirmed by someone online as well, that they think I may be correct, that I have potassium deficiency. So went to the big box home improvement store, and the only thing they had that had high phosphorus, I think I said potassium, I meant phosphorus, was these little things you stick in the soil that has high potassium and high phosphorus and low nitrogen, because the compost in there I think has plenty of it. And since it's so green, I'd say that's another sign that's got plenty of nitrogen. So what I'm understanding is these shouldn't be quite so deep a green. Should be a little bit of lighter green and no purpling. So put two of the little things down, like the pellets, down into the soil. It says you're supposed to use like up to 6 on the plant. Wanted to get a little quicker action, so I'm trying to actually take the soil or take the pellet and soak it in water and break it down. So we'll see how that works out. Alright, pepper plants. They're doing a lot better. I've can tell by the roots, nice and white, and made a drastic change since last week. All three of them are that way. This one was the first, so he's really coming on. And as you can tell with these two, the leaves are very dark green and a little droopy, so I'm going to have to see if my little phosphorus addition to the 2-liter plants actually helps those, and if they do, I'm going to try to give these a little bit of extra. The 2 in the soil, 3 in the soil, are still doing pretty good. I'm getting out my own light. Trying here is, I don't have my big light on. I've got like the room light, and it seems like the picture actually comes out fairly good. I guess we'll find out when I actually upload it and put it on a big screen. And we've got some clippings from plants at work, people that retired. They basically, on the big windowsill in the employee lounge, donated plants, or they just didn't want to take them home. And there's a lady, she keeps watering them, and we've been taking clippings off of them. So try to start the girlfriend some new plants here, and she likes that kind of stuff. So that's how the peppers are doing. So we're good to go on those for now. And the green onions are getting thicker. I can't say they're getting a lot bigger, but they are getting thicker. So we'll give you an update on that later. Okay, new subject. I had a goofy idea the other day. Y'all know I have all of you that's watched, I have this little reflective grow tent, and I was thinking, if you run out of room, what would you do? If you needed you got a plant, you just transplant it, you need to get as much light on as possible. You know, what would be a cheap way to do it with stuff you might have around, or you can get real cheap at a store. So just think about a bucket. I've got some mylar I've used for experiments. You can buy it at like Dick's or Target or whatever for like $2. It used to be $1, now it's like $2. You can get it online really cheap if you buy multiple packets. So if you took a bucket and you put mylar in it and lined it, and this is a big mess, but you can trim it up at the lip, use a rubber band to hold it, and then take scissors and cut it down, and stick a plant down inside. Maybe put holes in the mylar and maybe holes in the bucket so air can flow up. And basically, like my plant there has a hole cut in the lid there, you'd cut a bigger hole, and you would take the inside of your lid and you would put mylar or aluminum foil or whatnot, put it on top loosely, doesn't have to be on tight, and you could take one of these, basically utility lights. This one's got a 100 watt equivalent 6500K bulb, and match it up with your hole. And so where the lip would be sitting on the plastic, but the rest would be a big hole inside, it has little holes in the top here to let heat out. And there'll probably be a bunch of different ways you can use to let air into the box so the plant gets fresh air, so you don't starve it off from air. But yeah, it's basically poor man's grow box, I guess, if you're really in need. As you can tell, if the light reflected off the sides, there'd be a lot of light in there. There wouldn't be any wasted light other than holes you might make. So, you know, any of you out there want to try this, I may try it. But yeah, if you need a little grow box, you got one plant and you're just starting out, hey, easy way to do it, cheap way to do it. So just make sure your plant gets air. Have a good one. Please subscribe. See you next video.